You want the moon? Just say the word and I'll throw a lasso around it and pull it down.
Look at the stars. The great kings of the past look down on us from those stars. So whenever you feel alone, just remember that those kings will always be there to guide you.
I don't think it is very useful to speculate on what God might or might not be able to do. Rather, we should examine what he actually does with the universe we live in.
We are all explorers, driven to know what's over the horizon. The most profound discoveries are not necessarily beyond that next star. They're within us, woven into the threads that bind us.
Hello, beautiful people. Happy Thursday, happy Jupiter day, and happy birthday to today's famous Capricorns. There's been a few days where there haven't been a lot of notable people on Google's list, but today we can't go without mentioning it is Bradley Cooper's birthday. Marilyn Manson is a Capricorn as well. Very interesting. Diane Keaton. Yes. Robert Duvall. January Jones. I've always loved that January Jones's name is January, and obviously she has to be born in January. That would just be weird if they named her that and she wasn't. Kristen Cavallari, Deadmau5, I don't know. I never know how to say this guy's name. I don't listen to their music. Clancy Brown, quite a few Capricorns on January 5th. And so if it's your birthday, if you know someone celebrating, give them a shout out in the comments so we can send some love their way too. Happy Thursday, Corby. Hello, Rachel. Hi, Rose. Hey, Katie. Hope you're all having a beautiful day so far. Today's one of those days where I'm going to take the temperature. I'm going to ask you, how is the energy feeling? Because I'm going to be honest, I'm feeling a little anxious this morning. And I can't tell if it's just me or if it's the forecast. There are a few things that we'll talk about happening right now that could be making your emotions feel a little over the top or a little much. Oh my goodness. Well, now everything is better. Rose says my toddler just smiled and waved when he saw you. Hello. Hi. That makes me so happy. Yeah, but let me know how you're feeling, how this energy is feeling for you. Katie says this whole week has been so tense. We're coming off of that Venus-Pluto conjunction. There's been a lot happening, a lot of transformation. And today, the transit we're talking about is a trine between the Sun and Uranus. So hopefully, it's a positive aspect. Hopefully it feels like those shifts, those transformations are starting to make sense. We're starting to see the future a little more easily. So let's get a check on the current energy. The Sun is in Capricorn, the Moon is in Cancer, and we're coming into the full moon tomorrow afternoon. So really starting to feel that polarity between logic and sensitivity, practicality and structure, flow and nurturing, right? And so those are kind of the themes that we'll be talking about around the full moon tomorrow. Safety is going to be a big topic of conversation as well, finding safety in ourselves, finding safety in our bodies under this full moon. Okay, Corby says, I'm in investigation mode, did a self-check-in, definitely have some things I need to figure out. Well, hopefully the full moon illuminates some things for you. I made our live. Hi, Elena. I already had a very interesting day. I manifested money and then a traffic ticket. Feeling that Uranus energy. That would be Uranus. Like, here's the disruption. Here's the surprise. Something you're not expecting, right? Darn Uranus. Rachel says, I'm just tired. I feel okay. Definitely feeling anxious, but finding it easy to come back to myself. It's a practice. It's a practice, right? Being able to navigate anxiety, being able to navigate difficult emotions. We can't avoid them. There's no way of avoiding difficult emotions in life. We came here to Earth to experience the full range, but So beautiful that you're saying you're finding it easier to come back to yourself. Katie says, this morning was also intense, but some hints of a positive future. That's what we're going to be talking about. I know there's a lesson afoot. I'm not sure what it is yet. Elsie, my daughter, loves your tree. Oh, thanks, Katie. And thank you, Elsie. I've been meaning to take it down. I need to put the trees, back in the garage, but it makes me so happy. Maybe it needs to be a permanent fixture of the background now. I don't know. What do you think? What does Elsie think? Oh, good. Nikki says energy feels much better than last week. Definitely the conjunction was a stinker, that Venus-Pluto conjunction. Yeah, that was definitely intense. So let's talk about the main transit of the day. And I'm just now realizing for some reason the little label didn't load. So give me a second to add it. Producing on the fly here. Okay, so we're talking about this trine between the Sun and Uranus. Actually, if we look at the chart right now, there is a big old grand trine playing out with, I believe this is the vertex. This is just a mathematical point, so I wouldn't pay too much attention to that grand trine, but as an astrologer, I do love pulling up a chart and seeing that nice equilateral balanced triangle, right? But that's where a trine gets its magic, is from the idea of balance and equity and flow, right? I mean, even in spirituality, the triangle is representative of so many things, of balance, of all the things I just mentioned. But we have the Sun at 15 degrees. We have Uranus at 15 degrees in Taurus as well. It's nice that both the Sun and Uranus are in Earth signs during this trine, because it's really helping us to stay grounded, even amidst change, even amidst transformation. That's very similar to what Rachel was just saying, finding it easier to come back to myself, maybe a little easier to stay grounded. Uranus likes to change things up, and that might be why personally I'm feeling a little bit of like anticipation or anxiety. Uranus tends to do that, like what's coming next kind of feeling. But this trine is allowing for us to just kind of ease into whatever changes are happening, allow those changes to unfold. So what's interesting is the last time that we experienced trines between the Sun and Uranus, this happens about 3 times a year. On New Year's Day of 2022, we had this transit, and then on 9/11 of 2022, we also experienced this. So it feels like shifts, it feels like changes, maybe even a little bit of rebelliousness. Innovation is certainly coming to us more easily today. What I really love about this trine with the Sun in Capricorn and Uranus in Taurus is the idea of thinking about the future, moving forward. The Sun in Capricorn, we're thinking about our long-term goals. We're very future-oriented, future-focused. And Uranus is the planet of the future. It rules technology, innovation, all these things. So this can help us be a little bit more open to whatever's coming next, excited about opportunities in the future. Chance encounters and opportunities are certainly possible. Maybe even like last minute changes, but these shouldn't feel too abrupt. It should feel more like an opening or an opportunity. So navigating this, trines are generally easier to experience. Navigating this feels like it's important to just stay open to possibilities, to keep your eyes open for opportunities as they could pop up today or even over the next couple days as we're still feeling the effects of this trine. So really thinking about the future, visioning the future, doing something practical with the Sun in Capricorn to align yourself with the future. It could be scripting about your future, visioning your future, making a vision board. All of these activities would really be a great way to work with this trine. And again, we're still going to be feeling this during the full moon tomorrow. So I feel themes of illumination coming up. The full moon will be sextile Uranus as well, I believe. Of course, we'll get into this during tomorrow's episode. So the full moon's really supporting this connection that's happening right now, really supporting our innovation, our ability to adapt and change and shift and align with the next version of ourselves. Everybody says, keep the tree. I'm team delay the Christmas takedown. Keep the tree. Okay. All right. Well, I'll keep the tree then. I love this little pink tree. It's been with me for a long time. Yeah, and this is right in between your Uranus-Neptune conjunction. So you might be feeling a little confused. Yeah, you might be feeling all the things. That's okay. That's okay, especially the moon's in Cancer now. We're going to get to that momentarily. Hi, Nick. Easier to release our grip and release control. Yeah, yes. I love that approach to this because Capricorn energy in Capricorn season, there is this tendency to want to have things figured all out, to want to have the 20-step plan laid out in front of us. But this trine to Uranus reminds us that, sure, we can have a plan, but sometimes things disrupt that plan and we've got to flow. And it's interesting that this is happening in these very grounded earth signs with Uranus and the more stubborn sign of Taurus. It's a reminder to flow even when things feel like they should be a little more rigid. That's what I'm investigating my future, Corby says. My dreams and urges have been pointing to a shift in direction, wanting to make sure I'm grounded and have a plan. Don't want to be impulsive. Yeah, but also I will say this trine between the Sun and Uranus could bring through like insights or ideas or new intel as you do your research, Corby, as all of us are thinking about the future that make you want to change course. So it's okay to change course a little bit, to not follow the plan. It's kind of like adjusting your route, right? The end goal is probably going to be the same still, but this can kind of help us course correct and make some shifts or adjustments to get to that end goal a little bit easier, to innovate our plan and our path forward. Ooh, Rachel says, I was debating on writing a letter to myself for a year from now. Just want to give myself some encouraging words and some positivity to hold on to. Maybe I'll do that today. I think that's kind of a fun activity during Mercury retrograde too. Like, maybe even figuring out when the first Mercury retrograde of 2024 will be and planning on opening the letter during that. That's a really cool idea. Lots of fun insights and ideas coming through. Okay, let's talk about the moon though. We now have the waxing gibbous moon in Cancer. So tomorrow is the official full moon, but as the moon is coming into its fullest phase, it's in its waxing gibbous phase still today. Our emotions are being amplified. Our emotions are growing, if you will, as the moon gains more light. And the moon's at home in Cancer. So this feels like a homecoming to our emotions, even a homecoming to our intuition in a lot of ways, to our sensitivities. But it might feel like a little much. The Cancer moon, people who have Cancer moons tend to cry very easily, tend to allow their emotions to come forth very easily. And so we're all kind of feeling that under the Cancer moon, especially as the moon is becoming full. Our emotional feelings and our physical sensations are often linked when the moon is in Cancer too. So noticing if you're having any pain, stomach issues, it's so interesting now that I'm saying this out loud. My stomach has been feeling really weird this morning, and Cancer rules the stomach. It also rules the womb. So, noticing how your stomach is feeling, and like all physical sensations are usually linked to some sort of emotional root. So nurturing yourself under the Cancer moon, it's a really beautiful thing to be able to nurture yourself like a mother would, like a really safe person in your life would. So witnessing your emotions, noticing how you're feeling, and asking like, what could I give myself to feel safe right now? We are craving those safe spaces. We're craving nurturing, and it comes naturally under the Cancer moon. So if you're feeling like your emotions are kind of growing or heightening, that would be the Cancer moon and just the full moon in general. Katie says, I usually don't feel Mercury retrograde as much as Venus retrograde, but I'm feeling Mercury is pushing me to reflect a lot this time. Big shifts in my communication. Well, it's also in either your first house or your 12th house, right? So that's like a really big focus in your chart. You have a lot of planets there as well, Katie. It makes sense that you're feeling Mercury retrograde more than you normally would. Yeah, great idea. That letter to your future self, especially on a day like today when we're really thinking about the future. Your stomach was hurting today too, Mary. Yeah, and I'm like, I don't really even know why. I didn't eat anything different. I didn't do anything weird. Cancer moon. It's really cool to notice when the moon is in different signs, what body parts it's linked to, because I feel like of all planets, the moon really affects our body the most. And yeah, be kind to your stomach today. Give yourself a nice, nourishing, gentle meal. Same with Rachel. Her stomach was hurting too. Wow. Cancer in my 9th house. So this full moon is really going to be expansive for you. You're on the right track. You're on the right track, Corby. Oh, right. 2nd house in Aquarius. Yeah. So Mercury retrograde kind of maybe making you reflect on your values. Venus moving through your 2nd house as well. It's all good. The theme that kept coming through when I was thinking about today is like, there's no rush. The sun harmonizing with Uranus and the full moon energy kind of makes things feel a little bit heightened. Like we gotta get things done. We've got to get to the end goal. Like we're a little bit overly excited, maybe overly anticipating things. So remember, there's no rush. Everything is working itself out. Rose says, I'm such a planner. It was more extreme when I was younger. In high school, my mom always told me it'll happen if it's meant for you. I now have a much better understanding of this. Go with the flow. Yes, 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 yes. It's funny how age does that. You know, we think we've got it all figured out when we're teenagers, and then life happens and we're like, you know, we've got to go with the flow regardless of whether we want to or not. So might as well embrace the flow. North Node in Cancer in the 8th house. This is probably going to be an intense full moon for you, Nick, but also very illuminating of your path ahead. Had a shiatsu yesterday. Very relaxing. Love that. Full moon in your 7th house. So relationships are going to be illuminated for you. Interesting. Rachel says, my right shoulder was hurting too for the past couple days. Read into it and it means I'm bracing myself for impact. That is so wild because that is the feeling I have been feeling. Bracing for impact. Those are the exact words I've been using, Rachel. Wow. And it's interesting that those themes are coming up. Like you're saying, I'm in protection mode. The Cancer full moon, it's like that crab shell, right? Like that armor that we go into protective mode. We want to protect our emotions. We want to keep ourselves safe. So like you're saying, nice to realize it, helping you ground. Getting ready for school has been tough, Katie says. Trying not to rush, but it's hard. We took the day off today. Great day to do it under a Cancer moon, right? Get nice and cozy. Nikki, this is going to be a great full moon for your community. Full moon, I'm assuming, yeah, conjunct your South node. So big releasing energy for you, Elena. All right, let's talk about what's going on with the Cancer moon today. It's only making one connection, and it's basically happening right now. The moon is squaring Jupiter. So the moon at 1 degree, Jupiter at 1 degree. That's why I was saying emotions might feel really big right now, or might feel kind of over the top right now. Anytime a planet squares Jupiter, it really amplifies it, and we tend to go overboard when the moon squares Jupiter, or there's that urge to go overboard at least. So if your emotions are feeling really big, if you're feeling a little anxious right now, or kind of this urge to act quickly or be spontaneous or make a move, breathe through it, come back to the safety of your body, ground into your body. There's no rush. Everything is working itself out exactly how it's supposed to. We just have to trust in divine timing. Capricorn season really forces us in the dead of winter to slow down and take things one step at a time. So Like I said, that's the only connection with the moon we're feeling today. If you're feeling that restlessness, anxiety, over the top emotions this morning, they should subside in the next couple hours. And then we have a much quieter day under the Cancer moon. Yeah, Rachel, your career, your long-term goals are probably going to be a big focus of this full moon for you. Second house in Aquarius, Uranus in Libra in the 10th, Cancer in the 7th, bracing for impact seems right. Yeah, but I think, something that, like I said, I keep saying I feel like I'm bracing for impact. And then I have to remind myself, like, let's use the analogy of a storm, since storms have been ravaging Northern California the past couple days, or California in general, I think. When you're bracing for impact, actually, I was talking with Alyssa about this yesterday. We were having this exact conversation. It's like you're waiting for the storm to come. How prepared do you need to be? How many batteries do you need to have on hand? How much fresh water do you need to have on hand? So Capricorn season and the sun in Capricorn really reminds us to be practical about that, not to future trip. The sun trine Uranus makes it really easy to be living in the future, to be thinking about the future. But instead of future tripping, being like, okay, how can I be prepared and feel safe in this present moment, regardless of what the next phase looks like, what that impact looks like, how hard that impact comes in, right? And today, we know the full moon is coming. Our bodies can sense it. We can sense it. And you might just be feeling that today too. Like, okay, this full moon's coming. Our emotions are growing or amplifying. But how can you find safety in your body in the waiting process? That's kind of the assignment of the day, if you will. Hey, Charles. So glad you were able to join us live, a fellow Virgo. We love it. So yeah, that's all that's going on with the moon today, just that square to Jupiter, and it's happening now. So it'll get easier throughout the rest of the day today. Let's come back to our affirmation of the day, which is, this is yesterday's affirmation. Hold on. Apparently I did not update a lot of these. And I'm going to just make up an affirmation on the fly because this feels more applicable to what everybody's talking about. It's just, I am safe. That can be a mantra that carries you through the full moon to when these themes of safety are really coming up. I am safe. I am safe. I am safe. Bracing for impact. Okay, but I'm safe right now. And being in that energy of safety is going to call in more safety, right? So something to hone in on if you're feeling a little anxious, even like what some of us are feeling with kind of our stomach feeling weird, like I'm safe. A lot of times people get like stress ulcers, like your stomach like literally revolts against us because we're anxious and we have these feelings of insecurity and not being safe. So reminding your body, reminding your mind, we're safe. It's safe to be here. It's all good. Rachel says, I'm trying to find that balance of finding stability for myself, but also releasing control because there is better coming and trusting in that. Yeah. And with this trine today, like a trine is a really fortunate angle. So get excited about the future instead of, thinking about like, oh my God, what could possibly happen next? Like, I welcome what's going to happen next. Finding safety now is going to invite in more of that energy of something good coming next. You know what I mean? I got you, Rachel. It's this or better. That's a little mantra that I was taught when manifesting or really with anything in life. Like, this is the vision I have or better, because oftentimes the universe has a better plan than we can really see with our little human brains, right? So this is what I want or better. This or better. Nick says, I'm safe at home. Power is still on. Going to try to cut back on the junk food today. Eat more healthy. Yeah, be kind to your stomach under the Cancer full moon. This is a wonderful affirmation, Katie says, to feel safe among the chaos of the storm. There's always a safe place in our body, no matter what the external circumstances. Amen to that. Yeah. And you can almost, under the Cancer full moon, think of your body as like might sound weird, but like the mothership of your soul. Like our body is kind of like mothering us all the time. Our body is constantly taking care of us without us having to ask it to breathe, or to pump our heart, or to break down the food in our stomach and all these things. So honoring your body as like taking care of you, that's a really beautiful practice and something to think about as we come into the Cancer full moon. Okay, let's finish up our episode today. Yes, your body is the engine to your success. I love that. Treat it well. Treat it well. It's here to help you. We're going to finish up with a card pull from A Yogic Path by Sahara Rose. I always laugh when I pull out this deck because it's just such a massive box. The cards are like a normal size, but for whatever reason, this box, it's great on a bookshelf, I will say. And the guidebook too is like a normal size book. But I haven't pulled from this in a while, and in true Uranus fashion, I was like, I want to change it up today. Got to do something a little different. So, you know the drill. This is your opportunity to share any final reflections, ask any final questions. Yeah, you would think there would be extra storage room in it, but there actually is no space to put anything else in it. If there was, I'm sure I would have stowed away some like crystals or sage in there or something, but no. My husband is a car guy. I love the automotive analogies, but it's true. Like our body really is an engine. It's constantly working. It never stops. And I had that reflection actually probably 6 months ago now, like really stopping to think about that, because I think so many of us just take our bodies for granted, especially those of us who are able-bodied and have never had challenges of mobility or digestion or any of our bodily functions. It's really easy to take that for granted, but health is such a freaking gift. Our bodies are such gifts to us. I mean, healthy bodies allow us to have healthy minds and healthy experiences, and we're all here to grow and learn and awaken, right? But we can't do that unless we feel safe in our bodies. So today might be a day, or the Cancer full moon in general, to just really honor your body. Give yourself a bath, like do something that makes your body feel really good. The size of the box is a representation of the moon squaring Jupiter. You know what else is a representation? Me like throwing half the deck of cards just now. Okay, but you know what? One landed face up, so I'm taking it. I'm taking that one. The cards have been leaping out lately. A great book to explain the connection between our physical manifested health and astrology is a book called Body Astrology by Claire Gallagher. Ooh, the Virgo in you will love this. I need this book, Body Astrology. I'm going to check that out. Health is wealth. Yes, Rose. I feel like Uranus is keeping me focused on the forward goal. I don't need to get into the shame and guilt of the past. Ooh, yeah. And Capricorn energy really is tied to like the past and wisdom and the passage of time. And Uranus is much more about the future. So you might be feeling that kind of balance today between the past and the future with this Sun trine Uranus transit playing out. Okay. The card that came through, these are all yoga poses, so I might butcher it, but it's Vishuddha. Vishuddha. So let's find out what message it has for us. I love this book, I will say, because it's all color-coded. Okay. It's all about the throat chakra. You came into this world to speak and express, and you are doing so beautifully. Now is the time to let your unique vibration shine. Speak your truth, write your message, sing your soul's language, express your innate art. This is a wonderful time to begin any communication-related project, like a book, podcast, or business. Maybe ordering that book, right? Buying that book. Or to take your existing project to the next level. The throat chakra reminds us to speak our truth, so continue to share what's on your mind with your closest relationships. Remember that this is just as essential to listen, or it is just as essential to listen as it is to speak. And great communication skill comes in mastering both. Listening to those around you to deepen relationships and listening to those who inspire you to deepen wisdom. Know that most communication is not in the words spoken, but rather in their expression. This is the time for you to craft your own. I love that this card is coming through during Mercury retrograde, because that was a big theme when we touched on Mercury retrograde as it began last week. How are you saying things? It's not just about what you're saying. With Mercury retrograde in Capricorn, there is this tendency to be a little cold or not really notice how sincere our tone is. So I love that this card came through, reminding us, know that most communication is not in the words spoken, but rather in their expression. Beautiful time to craft your expression, to start a project, to pick up an old project, especially with Mercury retrograde. Maybe there was an idea or project that you sparked a while ago, sometime in the past, that you're now going to pick up again and move forward under this trine between the Sun and Uranus. Ooh, new ideas, innovation for the future. Yes, 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 yes. Had dreams about a future house filled with people of the past. Oh, that is so perfect for today. And yeah, I had really vivid dreams last night too. No Neptune transits, but probably, that full moon energy tends to heighten our intuition. We're all processing emotions a little bit more as the moon moves into Cancer. Hello from Dubai. Hi. Sorry you're dealing with difficult emotions. Find safety in yourself. You're going to be okay. Corby says, love this card. Feel it is aligned with what I'm planning to do and where I'm going. Yes, love that. It was just for you. The cards flew out and that was the only one face up. So it was calling. It was calling. Pamela says she's a Capricorn. Pluto has been in your sign for a long time. Capricorns have not had it easy. Major Capricorn energies have not had it easy. I will say that. Hang in there. Rachel says, calling me out right now. I haven't been working on the project I want to do because of how I've been feeling. This is so Uranus trying the Sun, saying, go, you got this. Yeah. Taking the wisdom from the past, carrying it into the future. There's a nice flow there today, for sure. Good reminder for mindful communication. I've been getting sloppy with it. Always an opportunity to come back, right? To come back to our wisdom and carry that wisdom into the future. Still have your film. This is your, this card feels really on point for you, Nick. Maybe today, just taking one little step forward, even if it's just watching the footage you have so far, getting that fresh spark of inspiration to keep moving forward, even if the conditions aren't ideal to keep filming, right? Oh, that is so sweet, Mary. Oh, find me on Instagram and I'll DM you. This is my handle if you're on Instagram, or I think on YouTube also you can find my email. All right, everybody. Well, that was a fun episode, fun time spent together. I know for me, just talking with you all, using my unique expression really helped me ground back into my body today and really helped ease some of the anxiety I was feeling. So, I always feel better after chatting with you. I'm grateful for this community and I'm grateful for each of you sharing your insights and your wisdom as well. I'm going to be a little bit, I guess it's the Capricorn season capitalism probably coming in, but until transit tracking starts, I am going to keep reminding you that it starts on the 21st, and so many of you are already signed up, but we are going to be working through a moon cycle together, starting on the Aquarius new moon, the lunar new year, and learning how to track the daily transits in our own chart, pulling insights for ourselves, really learning how to be our own best astrologers. So I put the link down below. You can just go to thespiritualjournalist.com/shop and sign up there. We're going to be having several Zoom meetings where you'll all get to see each other's faces and talk to each other, which is probably what I'm most excited about. And also, I'll be sending you course materials so you can learn how to read your own chart, how to understand what the houses mean, the planets mean, and just gain a deeper understanding of yourself and how the current energy is affecting you. Thanks, Alyssa. Have a magical day as well. I'm so excited, Corby. We love having you in this community. Go work on your dreams. I support you. And I'm saying that back to you because I think you might need to hear that for yourself too. You got this. We are all here supporting you. I love you all. I hope you have a beautiful rest of your Jupiter day, and I will see you tomorrow to chat all about this full moon in Cancer and what it means for your sign. But until I see you next, stay curious. Thank you so much for joining us and aligning with the energy of the universe today. If you enjoyed this morning's episode of Transits Today, you can join our live astrology discussion every weekday morning right here wherever you're watching. And head to thespiritualjournalist.com to read your daily astrology forecast and browse the Spiritual Shop. The most fun way to help keep these forecasts free and support more content like this is to buy yourself a little something on our website. But if you're feeling extra generous, you can also buy me a coffee to fuel future live streams. Just tap the link in the description or head to buymeacoffee.com and search The Spiritual Journalist. And speaking of, you can also tune in to The Spiritual Journalist, our weekly live interview where we ask our guests questions about everything from crystals and manifestation to mental health and the environment. Those conversations stream live right here wherever you're watching now every Tuesday. I'm so grateful you found us here, and I can't wait for our next conversation.